believes and shows that through neuroscience-based training, you can really clear some of those roadblocks and really do the do and get the results that you want to get. So we're really excited to have you, Deb. What I love about Deb as well is that she is an ex-top income earner in our industry. So Deb's coming from experience on your side of the fence, which I believe when you're training, coaching, or mentoring our field, that it's important that you know and you understand from a distributor perspective what it's actually like to be there. So without further ado, thank you, Deb, as well, for your patience today. I can see we've still got a lot of people jumping on. We'll get going, and it's just wonderful to have you here. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, guys. It is exciting to be here. And I'm going to give you the 2-second background on me. I graduated with a teaching degree, figured out really quickly that teaching and coaching, although I loved it, I was an athletic coach. I just absolutely couldn't make enough money to make ends meet. And so I decided very quickly I was going to jump into network marketing. Fell in love, went to the top of the company, my very first attempt out, and realized, guys, that I was all alone. I was doing all the work. I don't know if you've ever been there, right? Where you are like, you're busting it. You're working so hard, but you're the one doing everything. And I just couldn't quite figure out the rhythm until I got to an event, right, where I was standing on stage with one of my big checks, and I'm the only person in my group. Everybody else had 20, 30, 40, 50 people in their team on the stage, and I'm standing there alone. And it was kind of that light bulb moment for me that's like, oh, network marketing is a team sport, right? This is not individual. I'm not playing tennis. I'm playing basketball. And so actually, my company went under a couple of years later, and I decided, I'm missing something. I went back to school because I'm an educator, and I figured I needed a master's. I needed a master's in business or psychology or something. And it was really funny, guys, is the more I learned, the more I realized none of those degrees were really helping me. And that's when I found neuroscience. I fell in love with neuroscience because what neuroscience does is it helps you dig in, identify the blocks, understand how your brain works, why you keep getting the same things over and over and over in a cycle, and gives us tools to create real radical change. And so I went back into network marketing, joined a different company, went to the top again, but this time 10 legs, right? I had 10 top leaders, and I figured it out, right? I figured out what was missing in my ability to coach, teach, coach, lead other people to really step into their own greatness. And I got to tell you guys, that this has been my journey. This has been my passion. I decided I wanted to work with women around the world and men who want to support women's growth around the world. Because here's what I know. In our industry, there are 1 million men, right, who train and deliver a core message of skill set training. And skill set is important. Absolutely. Without skill set, we've got nothing. However, skill set alone doesn't usually make it work for most women. I'm going to show you why. I want to show you today why you may be blocked and what's getting in the way. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. We're going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint share just so you guys can kind of see everything. But I want to start by telling you that just in the last 6 months, we just finished a survey of over 500 network marketing direct selling professionals from 26 companies from around the world, okay? And what we were saying is we want to know what's really going on behind the scenes. What is it that's really happening? How much action are you in? Where are you blocked? I wanted to get the details. I want to show you. I'm going to move through this quickly, but I want to show you the details because the stats tell the story. So here's the first thing that you already know, right? Numbers don't lie. Our survey confirms what you probably already know. The top 2 to 3 are in a lot of action, okay? They are doing 20 plus lead generation activities daily. They are doing 3 IPAs, income producing activities, basically asking for the sale, asking for appointment every single day. They are doing 4 enrollments or sponsorship or recruits each and every month, 4 plus, okay? And they're making $10,000 a month or more, okay? This is what the top 2 or 3 in the industry report they are doing. But I want to give you a little more detail here, guys. When we talk about how many lead generations are they doing a day, this is what you guys have got to see, right? Is that 76% are saying 3 or less. And guys, 52% out of that 76 are doing nothing. Nothing. No lead generation day to day, okay? So the reason I'm asking you to kind of look at this is that 76% of the people, this is across the world, right, are making 3 or less contacts of a cold contact every single day. You want to know why the business isn't working? Because people aren't talking to people, okay? But let's go on, right? What about income producing activities? Asking for the business, asking for an appointment, asking for someone to join. Okay, this is really fascinating, guys, because here what you see is 43% are doing nothing, right? And so as you look at this, income producing activities every single day, 43% are doing nothing, 97% are doing 2 or less. Again, you want to know why the business isn't working? Is we're not doing the activity. How many people are you personally enrolling? Well, again, 53% said none. I'm not recruiting anybody. You guys, 97% are saying 3 or less. And you guys know that if you're only bringing 3 or fewer people into your organization every single month, you know you have a problem, right? Because people are leaving at that rate. So you're pretty much standing still or going backwards. So then I said, okay, tell me what your greatest obstacles are. Right? What are the greatest obstacles that you have preventing you from taking more action every single day? Look at this. 97% said it's mindset. Mindset, right? So basically what everybody's been telling us forever is true. Mindset is everything. It's at least 97%. So then I asked the question, okay, if it's mindset, what are the obstacles? What mindset obstacles are you facing? Well, this is what we came up with, which was fascinating, is people were saying to us, look, I'm spending all my time learning, right? Developing skill sets, strategies, systems, but I'm never getting over here and doing the activity. I'm bumping into what feels like a brick wall and just kind of crashing and burning. So when we look at what the actual mindset challenges are, this is what we found, guys. 34% said doubt. Total, just personal doubt. 33 said fear, 22% said self-esteem. So I went back in and I said, okay, let me just see. I want to kind of look at confidence. I want to look at doubt. I want to look at confidence, see what the problem is. This is what I was blown away by. There was a Forbes magazine confidence study done in 2019. And here's what they discovered. Women's confidence actually declines with unsuccessful experiences. The longer they work in a workplace without breaking through, the less confidence they had. Now, guys, you gotta just breathe into this a little bit. What we're really saying is when women come into network marketing and they're not successful right off the bat, immediately, it's kind of like it chips away their confidence. They try again, they set a goal, they don't hit it, chips away. Try again, set a goal, chips away. Because feel it? We have to stop this pattern. Now look at this. 67% of women said, hey, I need more help. I need help from somebody else because I can't figure it out. And then this, okay? And this is one of the big ways that men and women are different, is women said that they are more likely to wait for 100% certainty before they ask for a sale. And men said they only need 60%. I know you guys have seen this, right? Guys are very willing, and I should also say women who are at the far end of the scale. So they are high confidence, they're, high D's, they are driving personalities, right? They're athletic by nature, they're competitive, they've been in other businesses. Women who fit on that side of the scale, and a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of men, this is a really big deal. Let me go back. This is a really, really big deal, okay? Is that they only have to have 60% certainty. So what we're really saying is guys can come into the industry, learn a little bit, wing it, and they're in action. Women come into the industry, they have to wait until they're certain. And so I have to ask those of you women that are on this call, are you ever certain? And so what happens to too many women is they're waiting. I don't have the right script. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who to ask. Somebody said no. And what if they ask me if I'm in network marketing? All of the stuff people say. Okay. So my results of getting 34% saying self-doubt, lack of confidence is the big issue. It's kind of confirmed by these studies. Okay, let me keep going here, because this is the big one, guys. Fear. 33%, a third of people who we talked to said it's fear. Fear's in my way. Well, I want to talk for a minute about how men and women see fear differently. Okay, how they experience fear. And when I say men and women, let me be really clear. It's kind of like there's two sides of the continuum, right? And so ask yourself I'm sorry, guys, I don't know why my PowerPoint keeps pumping around. Where do you end up on this? So first of all, let's talk about what happens with fear. When fear gets triggered, anytime there's something new, different, uncertain, right? When your brain, the amygdala, the part of your brain, when it decides that you are under threat, it fires off. And when it fires off, okay, you are likely to either choose fight, flight, or freeze. So you either lean in, which is what most guys and most athletic, competitive women, they will lean in, okay, they face their fears and do it anyway. But everybody else is going to run and hide. Why? You guys, it's our wiring. It's just how we're wired. And so here's the really important part. For guys, they have a real advantage here. And for those strong, independent, fearless women who also fit on that side of the scale, they have a real advantage because they're willing to put the last couple thoughts together. Number one, they don't have to have all of their stuff together. About 60%. They have to have about 60% together, and they're willing to face their fear. They don't really have a problem with it. They just lean in and go. Huge advantage over those women who feel like they have to have all of it together, right? It has to be perfect. And who also, when fear shows up, their tendency is to run and hide. And so, guys, what I want to show you here is that the strategies for men and competitive women, the strategies for them tends to be just motivation, kind of get in their face, use their willpower, use their discipline, go for it. And that's why we have coaches that are always saying, just go for it, just face your fear, just do it anyway, just get up the courage, just make it happen. And yet that doesn't work for so many others whose wiring is wired for flight and freeze. You can't, if you're a freeze personality, you cannot just get your courage up and use willpower and discipline. It doesn't work. And so what we know now is that we can actually teach our brain, when the fear center gets activated, we can silence the fear center so that you can move forward. Just silence it. Right? So in other words, it's kind of like, imagine that when you're moving through your day, your fear center, if it doesn't feel a threat, it's asleep. And the minute it senses some kind of threat, your feelings could be hurt, you could be judged, you could be rejected, any of that stuff, what happens is immediately it flares up. So it activates your brainwave frequencies, go really high. You go into the stress hormones and stress reaction in the world. Now, guys, once your fear center gets activated, you are actually, get this, 50% less effective. Hear that. When your fear center is activated and your brainwave frequencies are going through the roof, stress hormones have been released, you are 50% less effective. So honestly, you have no logic, you have no reasoning, you can't talk yourself into something if you're the shutdown kind of person, right? So we need new tools. We need some neuro tools that will help us silence the fear center so that it's a normal activity. There's no fear at all. You guys got that? Excellent. All right, let me keep going here and then I'll answer some of your questions. All right, so next thing I want you to look at is a study, a Heart Institute study, did a self-esteem study. They interviewed 10,000 women and here's what they found. 4 out of 5 women said that they strongly agree with the statement, I'm just not enough. Training, skill set training, strategy training, none of that helps. Here's why. Guys, your confidence is built from your skill set, your power, your confidence, your intellect. In other words, it's kind of like you just talk yourself into feeling more confident. And women, their confidence is internal. So just because you know how to do something, like I know how to read this script and close a sale. I know how to invite somebody to watch a short video. I know how to do it, but my confidence isn't about knowing how to do it. My confidence has to do with how I feel about myself as a woman, whether I think I'm beautiful, whether I think I'm very smart, whether I think I'm good enough. And those all come from my first 7 years of life. Did you guys know that? Your confidence level is created in your first 7 years of life. Unless you intentionally go in and reset the neural set point, you are living with the confidence level of your 7-year-old self. All right, 87% of the women said they suffered from some form of low self-esteem. 87%, guys, 87%. 94% said they held themselves back in the workplace because of lack of confidence and self-worthiness. Well, those numbers pretty much line up, don't they? They line up with what we know in our industry. So can you guys for just a second, imagine 94% of the people in your organization say they hold themselves back. They don't even try. You want to know why they're not in action? This is why they're not in action. Because doubt, fear, and self-esteem are holding them back. We got to do something about that. You guys get it? We have got to do something about that. All right. I'm seeing the comments go crazy, but I can't read any of them. So I'm going to stop for 1 second because I want to make sure I'm not missing something important. You guys getting it? All right, good. So good enough. All right. So you guys are just agreeing with me. Thank you. All right. So let me keep going here because I want to show you some really cool stuff about what we can do about all of it. All right. So I'm going to come back to the study. And I want you to look at this kind of, this image and feel this. First for yourself and then for your team. And recognize this. All of the strategy, skill set, systems, training, love, appreciation, your leaders getting behind you and going, go. It will give you a running head start. And if you don't have doubt, fear, and low self-esteem blocking you, you will get over here. And this is why we have a 2 or 3% group that makes it into leadership and makes it to the top of any company because, guys, they can actually do the skill sets that are required. You guys, this is a simple business. This is not rocket science. This is not, neurosurgery. This is simple. But simple doesn't mean easy. Simple means anybody can learn it. Anybody can learn the strategy, the systems, the skill set. Very few people will actually do it. And the reason why are that these things get in the way. So if you're a leader, I don't care if you're a guy or girl, if you're a leader and you look at this, you have to be saying to yourself, not good enough. It's not good enough to leave all these people in the crash and burn in the middle. We got to get them over here so they can do it. And by the way, women rarely respond to external motivation. External motivation is when somebody comes up to you and goes, come on, move, do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Cheerleading, all of that stuff. It activates the brain for moments. In fact, there's a brand new study out. I was just reading it over the weekend, and they said that when you learn something new, you actually create new neural connections. You like double the neural connections in your brain as you learn something new. And this is the scary part. You will lose those neural connections within hours if you don't implement immediately. So in other words, it's like your brain has all this activity while you're learning. And so many people take a class and they're like, oh, I love this stuff. I love personal development. I had somebody today say, I love personal development. I love classes. I love learning all this stuff, but I'm still not doing anything. And I said, okay, so what's happening is you're stuck in the cycle of your brain is very addicted to the feeling of learning because you're connecting new neural pathways. It's exciting. You feel alive. It's motivational. It's inspirational. It's hopeful. But if you don't implement within hours, maybe days, then those new neural connections, right, they just kind of disconnect. And so what happens is people get addicted to learning because it's the way that they keep firing and wiring and feeling alive and excited. It feels like you're having ahas, but you can't implement it. Have you ever read a good book? You're like, oh, this is the best book I've ever read. But 2 weeks later, you haven't implemented anything from the book. You guys get it. This is human nature. You need to know this. If you work with me, I am somebody who will tell you this. This is a no judgment zone. We do not judge ourselves, but I do want you to be an analytical thinker, a critical awareness eye. I want you to look at something and go, yeah, that's me. I'm doing that. I want you to connect with it. And then I want to give you the tools and inspire you to actually move yourself into action. All right. So here's some of the problems, right? Is what we've got here is you've got this external energy, knowledge, power, duplication, external motivation, right? Dominance, winning, face your fear, do it anyway. And the problem is, what we really want to do is this, guys. We want to elevate confidence, silence fear, and increase self-esteem. And so let me just show you something, right? Here's your core belief. Right, here's your core belief. This is where everything begins. Your core belief creates a thought. The thought generates emotions. Those emotions generate actions, and those actions give you business results. You guys get it? So there's a flow. Core belief, like, I'm not enough, creates a thought like, this is never going to happen for me. And that is going to create emotion like doubt. And the doubt is going to cause you to hold back. You're going to say, why bother? So you don't even go into action, and then you get bad business results. Now, here's what's really interesting. Traditional training says, let's use external force to change something. External training, external incentives. We're going to dangle an incentive trip in front of you. So when you go to an event and you see that trip and you're like, I want that trip. Our typical energy is to say, all right, if you want different business results, you must be in more action. So we want to go backwards. Feel it? So it's kind of like this. You're kind of like you're putting your boat in the water and you're paddling upstream. And as you paddle upstream, just kind of feel that you're paddling against the current. For a while, you can make progress because you're just going to paddle like crazy. But then you're going to get tired. You're going to get exhausted. You're going to get burnt out. And you're going to say, this is too hard. I'm working way too hard for as little money as I'm making here. You know, I thought that myself for like a year and a half. I thought, this is way too much work. And then everything changed, right? And so what happens to too many of your people is they get in and they start trying to go upstream. But what we want to do is really what I call neurotraining. And neurotraining means we're going to use internal flow, internal processes, internal shifts. So we're going to create a new I am. I'm enough. I'm confident. I'm unstoppable, right? And as we do that, your new core belief, you are identifying a brand new business. A business result that you want to experience, and that helps you create new core beliefs, new thoughts, new emotions, new actions. You guys get it? And we create super women on our team when we do that. So neurotools, that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Neurotools are what moves you past your fear, past your blocks, and it works like this. First of all, around your core beliefs, we're going to reprogram the subconscious mind. And as we reprogram the subconscious mind is your automatic pilot. And your autopilot will help move you towards your goals. And then we're going to use neurotools to teach awareness, conscious mind awareness, right? To make different choices moment to moment. And then you're going to get neurotools that will help you practice feelings and emotions that will move you into flow. Feelings of ease and grace and appreciation, anticipation. And then finally, use neurotools to silence the fear so you can move into action. You guys get kind of the flow of that process. And so as we talk about neurotools, guys, I'm going to give you a neurotool today, and I'm going to let you sign up for some free neurotools if you like. But there's really two types of tools. There's long-term reprogramming, which you're reprogramming the subconscious mind. And then there's situational tools or shifting right now tools. So I'm feeling fear, I need a tool to shift. It kind of looks like this. When you want to shift out of negative energy, right? You're doing things like you're eliminating fear, you're erasing doubt, you're breaking through procrastination, ending self-sabotage, calming stress, releasing self-judgment, letting go. You guys get it? This is moving away from. But you can also have neurotools where you're moving towards. Building personal confidence, moving into action, increasing personal power, inspiring desire, providing motivation. So as you guys look at this list, let me ask you a question. If you had access to a neurotool that would change everything for you, which one would it be? So just read the list and go, believing in myself, believing that I can. Is that the most important neurotool you could have? Okay, you guys see the list? So just for a second, I want you to jump into the chat box and tell me, is it letting go of something, moving through something? Is it capturing something? Which one is it for you? Jump into the chat box. Give me an answer. You guys got it? Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop for a second and come back. And inspire desire. Excellent. What else, guys? What other things? Believe that you can. Get unstuck, unfrozen. Believe that I can. Believe that you can. Get unstuck. Believe that you can. Look how many of these there are. Ease self-doubt. Transform negative energy. Create momentum. Believe you can. So believe you can. Believe I'm enough. Think and act bigger. Powerful. Powerful, guys. Take action. Believe I can. All right. So I just got to tell you guys this. Believing that you can. Here's the thing. Let's talk about confidence for a minute, guys, because I just really want you to get this. Confidence is nothing but a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling of certainty. And you can have confidence right now, even if nothing changes in your life. Here's why it's so important, okay? I'm going to tell you something really important about confidence. There was a study done years ago, Yale University, and what they did is they took all these college kids, put them in a room, and they taught them a skill. And when they taught them that skill, they said, okay, we're going to test you. So they took them to a different room, tested them. They gave them 10 questions. Everybody who scored a 7, they got 7 out of 10. They took those kids and said, stay in the room. Everybody else, you can go home. So they took all the 7s in the room. And then they said, how do you think you did? This is the scary part. Every guy in the room said, I think I got maybe a 9 or a 10. So they elevated their score. The guys all had more confidence, more belief, more thinking that they were fabulous, right, than their score validated. Not a surprise. Most of us would say that makes sense. If you've ever asked a guy if he needs a map, you know the answer is always no, because they think they know where they are and where they're going. They have confidence. They have elevated confidence. So here's the really scary part. They asked the women, okay? They asked for women, what do you think you got? And everybody got a 7 as women. Guess what they did? Down. They recruited down. Or excuse me, they said devalued their score. So they said, I think I got a 5. So women valued down, men valued up. So here's what's really interesting in the recruiting process. This, hold your hat, because this is scary. When you're sitting in a room and you are a 7, let's say you're in a coffee shop and somebody comes in and you see them and you go, wow, that's a 10. I want them on my team. Now, by the way, your brain is always doing that. Your brain is always identifying the pecking order, where you fit in the pecking order. So interestingly enough, men look, first of all, they're a 7, but they saw themselves as a 9. And when a 10 comes in the room, they say, I'm getting it. I'm getting her. I'm getting him. I'm recruiting him right now, right? They're going to be on my team. And they love the challenge. They don't mind recruiting up because they love the challenge. They love to win. They love to fight. They love to conquer, right? Guess what the girls do? The girls are a 7, but they see themselves as a 5. They look at the 10 and go, she's out of my league. I could never talk to him. He would never follow me. That would just never happen. So they talk themselves out of it. So guys, how you see yourself, how you evaluate yourself, what you believe about yourself, it's everything. Because what typically happens for women or anybody with low self-esteem is if you are a 7, but you see yourself as a 5, you'll recruit 4s because they're easy. They're less threatening. They won't challenge you. They'll follow you. And when I say 4s, I'm not valuing the individual. I'm saying, like, if your confidence is a 5, you're going to go recruit somebody whose confidence is a 4. You guys kind of see that? And so guess who the 4s will recruit? 3s. And the 3s will recruit 2s. And so what happens many times in our organization is you look at it and you're like, how do I motivate these people? How do I get them to do anything? I can't get them to follow. I can't get them into action. They're not committed. They don't have a work ethic. They're not doing the work. I can't motivate. I had somebody call me the other day and said, how do I motivate the unmotivated? I'm like, you don't. How do I coach somebody who won't call me back? You don't, right? In other words, if you recruited down, you're going to have to drag. If you are the one, if you feel like you've been dragging, pushing, pulling, bribing your team, all it means, please hear me, they're not lazy. They're just people with less confidence, people who are stopped by even less fear than you, right? In other words, it doesn't take much to hold them back. That's all that's going on there. They're stuck. They're people who are neurologically stuck. And you recruited them because they were safe. So can you see how critical it is for us to elevate? We have got to take our energy, and before you make a phone call, guys, I used to, before I would sit down and make my calls, I had my whole list ready of what I was going to do. Back in the old days when we actually made phone calls, right? I had my whole list. And before I'd make my list, I'd use a neural tool, right? I'd use a neural tool where I'm tapping, I'm talking, right? I'm doing whatever I got to do to elevate my confidence. And as soon as I felt it, as soon as I felt like, yeah, I'm a 10, bam, I'd start dialing. And no matter yes or no, whatever they said, I would go through the whole routine again for the next one and the next one, and the next one. Pretty soon, I didn't need to do all of that. I just picked the phone up, right? The phone actually was an anchor for excitement and passion. And so what I want you to know, guys, is whatever you're feeling now, it's not a judgment about the fact that you're not enough and you can't do it. It just means you have an untrained and undisciplined mind, and your mind has followed the programming of your childhood, and you just have not yet learned how to stop it and move it in a new direction. That's all it means. Please hear me. The only thing that separates you from the top 2% is that either they know this stuff and use it every day, or they are what we call unconsciously competent, which means they're not really consciously thinking and deciding all of this. They're just competent. They're just confident. So they're unconsciously confident. It's just part of who they are. It's their style. It's the way they are in the world. So either they're lucky enough to have it, or they've done the work and they've elevated their confidence. But remember, confidence is a feeling. So if you ever gone to a scary movie and you hear the music and you know something's about ready to jump out and you're kind of holding your breath, and when it happens, it still scares you. Well, what's really interesting is your brain knows it's a movie. Your brain knows it's not real, but your brain can't help but get caught up in the fantasy of the movie, the music and the visuals and the scary, threatening individual. Your brain, knowing it's a movie, still gets sucked right in. So guess what, guys? We can use the exact same tools to get you where you want to go. So when you want to feel confident, we elevate the feelings of confident and you move into action with incredible confidence. When you want to move past fear, what I found for me, and I'm a pretty confident person, but I'll tell you, I still have to silence fear. And I can tell you why. I had an experience as a child. I was sexually abused as a little girl. And I had to go to this guy's house every night for years and years and years. He was like the babysitter. And when I knew he was coming home, I would run in the closet and I would, put the pillows over my head and try to hide, because I knew he was coming. He was coming. He was coming. And so my way of dealing with fear in the world has always been run and hide, literally run and hide, hold my breath, freeze. There's been a couple of other times in my adult life where I was really challenged. I was up against a very scary situation and I could not move. I could not move. I was frozen with fear. So I learned really early that trying to push past the fear was pointless. Pointless. I can't speak. I can't move. The only option I have is to silence fear. So let me tell you how you silence fear. I'm going to give you, yes, I've got some full tools to give you, but let me give you this one. The best thing you can do to silence fear is to close your eyes, tilt your head back, and start breathing deeply, right? Breathe in for the count of 8. You're going to breathe all the way up to your forehead. You can even tap if you like. This helps center and anchor. And breathe out, count of 8. Breathe in. You can breathe in light and love and abundance and tap. Hold the energy all the way up. And then on the out breath, say to yourself, release, relax, allow, let go. Do that 3 times, guys, and you will feel a huge shift in your fear. Here's why. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between something real and something imagined. And so when you feel the fear, they're going to reject me, I'm not sure, what am I going to do? And you get yourself all worked up and you're releasing stress hormones and you're in high beta. Deep breathing with your eyes closed and your head tilted back, what it does is it sends chemical messages to the brain that says, everything's okay, right? Because you don't need to run and hide. If your eyes are closed, it means you're going to sleep. So what's happening is your brain goes, oh, everything must be okay. And immediately your brain triggers off everything you need to calm down. Deep breathing, especially with your eyes closed. Powerful way to silence stress, silence the fear. Okay. I also love to do this. All my neuro tools, I usually use a mindfulness bell. And a mindfulness bell, guys, the beautiful thing about it, can you hear that? I'll do it again. Let me do it a little louder. Okay. If you close your eyes and breathe in, and try to breathe in the entire time you're hearing the bell, what it does is it gives your brain a focus, right? And you're breathing deeply, and the bell has a resonance. What you may not know in neurosciences, we talk about all the time, is that your brain wave frequencies try to match the frequencies that are around you. So when you go into a dance hall and that music is beating and pumping, it's kind of like every part of your brain goes, oh, yeah, let's do this, right? And when you've got meditative music or calm music, right? When you're sitting at the ocean, when you're sitting by a waterfall, when you're listening to the rain pattering, what it does is your brain waves try to match the energy that's there. So guys, guess what? Anytime you're feeling fear, all we have to do is trigger relaxation. I guess what I'm going to call them is anchors. And when you want to elevate, man, you know what we're doing? When you want to elevate, it's like we're intentional. So let me give you another neuro tool real quick here, okay? Take your thumb and your finger and pinch it together. Every neuro tool, guys, has sounds, sights, taste, touch, smell. If we can include all of them, it's better. So you put your first finger and your thumb together, so we're touching it, and say, I can. Come on, I can. I can achieve this goal. I can make this phone call. I can reach out. I can have 10 contacts this morning. I can. And then you touch your second finger and your thumb together and you say, I will. This is your commitment. I will do what it takes. I will, right? I absolutely will. I will stop at anything. I will face my fear. I will make this phone call. I will. Okay. And then touch your third finger and your thumb together and say, I am enough. I'm more than enough. I'm perfect. I'm enough. Feel the I am enough. I can, I will, I am. Okay. Now, at the end of I can, I will, I am, the next thing I want you to do is just snap your finger and say now. Okay. I can do this. I will do what it takes. I am enough now. Now, the really cool thing, guys, is I can, I will, I am now takes about 3 seconds. And guess what? Guess what? Here's what's really important. When you get an impulse to act, I should call Sally. You get a 3 to 5 second window to act. And if you don't act in that 3 to 5 second window, guys, then the hesitation triggers the fear center and says, ooh, something's wrong. She would be in action. So what I wanted to build for you is something really simple. I can, I will, I am. You can, if you want, make a fist go, yes. We're going to elevate your confidence. I can, I will, I am. Yes. I can, I will, I am. Yes. I can, I will, I am. Now, bam, pick up your phone. You guys got it. So breathe for a minute and just know this. If you need neuro tools to fill that gap between the skill set you know but you're not using and the action that's required that you really want to step into, right? I want you to come and join us. I want to show you one more thing. This is my website, guys. Let's see. Hold on a minute here. Here we go. Here's the website. And the address is icaninstitute.com. ICAN Institute makes sense, right? icaninstitute.com. So when you get here, see where it says free training over here on the side? I want you to click on free mindset training. And here's what I would love to invite you guys to do. First of all, there are 3 free neuro tools. Every Thought Counts is a binaural recording, right? It's a little mini class, a binaural recording that will radically elevate your confidence in any moment in time. You can listen to it during the day. Okay. Great little free mini class. I Can Mindset Warrior is a video neuro tool you can use every morning to set the tone for your day. It's I think 7 minutes long. It has audio. It's powerful. You're going to love it. It's going to elevate, elevate, elevate. And it uses the mindfulness bell. It uses everything. And then a mindfulness tune-up. This is a 60-second neuro tool you can use anytime you just need to stop, take a deep breath, listen to the bell, and refocus, recenter. So I use the mindfulness a lot when I need to up-level my confidence if my fear has been activated. I use the warrior to set the tone for the day, and I use every thought counts anytime during the day where I need to break, okay? Now, I also have 2 webinars that you can access. 3 mindset hacks is really for business builders. I would say if you are a pro 4 or below, this is perfect for you, right? It's the individual builder webinar. You're going to absolutely love it. If you are a leader, you're pro 5 or above, and you say, hey, I really want to learn how to do neuro coaching and I want to have some tools I can give my team, then go watch this workshop series. Anybody can watch either one of them. I'm just saying I built this one for leaders. I built this one for business builders, okay? And if you keep scooting down, you'll also see there are these mindset minutes. And these I started doing when the virus hit. I started doing these every day. They're Facebook, short little Facebook lives, because I felt like my community just needed a little bit of pump up. Right. So all of these are free as well. Just go read any of these. You go, oh, I think that would really help me. And go check it out. Okay. So those are all of the free things, the free resources I have. If you like that, if you get in there and you're loving that stuff, then join one of our memberships, guys. The gold membership is for builders, and you get access to 70 neuro tools, plus all my mindset classes. You get access to everything, okay? If you are a leader, you can join like a platinum membership, and then you will have things for you and for your team to give away. Because, you know, guys, this was one of the things that I really discovered as a leader, was that it wasn't enough for me to go to the top. You know, I had to give my team all 10 lines. I had to give my team the tools they needed to get there. 4 of those lines were men, 6 of those lines were women. And what I noticed from the men's lines were that they had actually more women in their organization than the women's lines. And it was one of their greatest struggles, was to figure out how to coach the women on their team, because they were using a male coaching model, and women on their team didn't like it. You know why? We're just wired a little differently. That's all. Any comments or questions? You know, guys, jump in and let me support you in any way I can. I have a live coaching session every Monday morning for anybody who's in any membership. So you can get personal help. You can jump on and go, Deb, I'm struggling with this. Help me out. Right? Or you can just access all of the online training and all of the neuro tools. Everything is easily accessible on your mobile phone. So no matter how you do it. Yes, I do personal coaching if you're in a leadership class. But guys, I'm here to tell you that if you're in one of the classes, you don't have to pay for personal coaching. You can get coaching every single week. Okay. So Claire, anybody need a little bit more support? I'm going to turn it back to you guys. How can I help you guys?
Deb, thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Just checking today because it's a little crazy.
We can.
Good. Thank you so much. There's just so much valuable information there, and people, I just want you to know that we're very, very selective when we come to, you know, when we see who we share with you. I just feel like Deb has so much to give us. I know that many of you, might not be you, but your teams are experiencing some blocks. I love the tapping it out and the breathing and the sound. We can all slow down, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a breath.
I saw, yeah, I saw a question or somebody asked a price point. Let me just show you this one thing, guys. When you're on the main site here, if you go to memberships, okay, here are memberships that are great for builders and for business builders and leaders. Let me see if, yeah, join a membership. Here's platinum, gold, platinum, and platinum plus. Platinum plus, guys, is really designed for, let's say, pro 9s and above. Platinum's pro 5 and above, and gold's everybody else, no matter where you are, whether you're day one or anybody who's just stuck and you're like, man, I need to learn these tools for myself. So please do just enjoy, go through this entire thing. I will tell you that Carrie Williams and Maria Williams are both, they're both in platinum plus. Because they're sharing so many of these tools with their people. So we wanted to share it with you. I want to invite you guys, please go get all of the free resources. Please do that and consume those first. Enjoy everything you could get your hands on. And if you say, hey, this resonates, I want more, great. You know where to find it.
Absolutely, Deb. Thank you so much. And remember, guys, it's the icaninstitute.com. A lot of free stuff there for you. So Deb, thank you so much for your support for us here in Australia and New Zealand today for us and this evening for you. We've absolutely loved having you participate with us, and we look forward to further participation together. Thank you all for joining today, and thank you so much for your patience as we worked through some technical issues. We got there in the end, as we always do, and we'll see you same time next week. Thank you, Deb. I can't wait to check out more of your work.
Thanks, guys. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.